kind of getting into a little bit of criticism that we've heard from the left, especially. There's a lot of, I would say a lot, but there's biblical references in this, right? We talk about the Golden Rule, King David, things of that nature. What would why? Well, let me break this down a little bit. One, why are those included? And two, what would your response be to those who say, "Well, that's teaching the Bible, or isn't there separation of church and state, things of that nature?" Why are these lessons and references important to include in the OER?
The for anyone to get a well-rounded education, to understand literature and art and culture and history, y- it is fairly important part of the human experience that many people are been motivated by their faith tradition. I mean, talked about Steinbeck.
Yeah,
If you're reading Steinbeck or Faulkner or Toni Morrison or really any of the great writers in the American tradition, in the Western tradition, they often include religious references in their writing.
yeah.
And
Well, you talked about MLK
yeah,
earlier, right?
if you're trying to wrestle with
Yeah,
that, if with literally the letter from Birmingham jail from Martin Luther King, if you don't know about Christian persecution under the Roman Empire, if you don't know who Nebuchadnezzar is, you actually just don't know what King's talking about.
yep.
So this is just necessary from an education perspective, but it's not any. You think about the religious traditions that kids need to learn. We have a lot in our culture, in modern culture, in our literature that's based upon old polytheistic traditions too.
Yeah,
So you think the religious faith of the ancient Greeks and the Romans, you're gonna encounter Zeus and Mars from time to
yep.
time in written material. So you need to have some background knowledge on that. One of the religious references that's in the product is actually in a unit on World War II, and it's a quote from Hindu scripture, from the Bhagavad Gita. And why is that quote in there? In fact in extremely important quote in American history, because it is what Oppenheimer said after the
Hmm.
after the bomb at the Trinity test site. And he quotes from the Bhagavad Gita, "Behold, I am become death, destroyer of worlds." So we have the kids read some Hindu scripture in there, because again, this is part of a well-rounded education.